Also known as the Wildcards for today. My name is Jake Hysterics, Aussie Penko. With me is Max Rogie for Fogler in a different kind of seat today. He's going to be looking at the game at a different perspective this time. But we're 1-1 with Abyss and Avant Garde, seeing who is the better team and who can make their way into the final, fighting for that spot into the OCS.
Yeah, from the game that we did observe, we saw that Abyss White had a really strong foothold in that game with all their solo lanes coming out immensely ahead. So it'll be interesting to see how Game 3 pans out.
And, I mean, you got Triple Cheese there, who was doing a lot of work. Obviously, didn't go too well for them last game, but Triple Cheese, you got to get rid of his fizz. Do not leave Triple Cheese alone with the fizz, because he's going to do magical things with it. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, we've seen that fizz picked up a lot lately in various roles, mid and top. Top laners opting to build him a bit more tanky rather than that assassin, just for that HP shred that he does bring to the table.
And we move straight into the champion select. It looks like Abyss White are going to be on the blue side. Avant Garde Academy moving to the red side here. So no advantage for either team, but some teams do prefer that blue side. Kalista, Echo, Graga. Sadly, Echo gets banned. That brings a tear to my eye. Rise and Thresh as well. But Echo maybe don't want that threat of that, huge champion at the moment.
Something tells me that maybe Echo was the reason they won Game 1.
Maybe.
Because we haven't seen it banned in any other game, and unless you have prior knowledge to who's a good Echo player, or like I said, it could have been picked, it doesn't seem like a viable champion to ban.
I so sense Triple Cheese was the Echo player. He loves these huge AP burst mid laners, and Fizz just goes along with them. Fizz hasn't been banned away from Triple Cheese, but Maokai gets locked in straight away. There's no Nunu to pick up the first jungler, but Blackstar goes for the Maokai, that huge top laner who's always reliable.
Yeah, Maokai, there's really... They tried to nerf his ultimate. They tried to nerf his passive, but he just keeps coming back. They brought out... He used to be going for that Rod of Ages build, but once the Righteous Glory came through, we've seen that to be the predominant first item on many of these bruisers. But Maokai being one of the top.
And he uses it so well. Twisted Advance gets his whole team ahead.
Yeah.
Well, now we see something like maybe a Rek'Sai to sort of position himself top and help out whichever top laner they do end up picking. Janna gets locked in very suddenly, though. So Rage going to be on that Janna down in the bottom lane. A lot of CC, a lot of control, a lot of disengage for your AD carry, which is fantastic. And something that we don't normally see, Shaco getting hovered, unfortunately, probably not going to be the case. Nellis locks in the Udyr, and Faizy going to play around with something to get rid of that.
Yeah, and when I mentioned the Janna earlier, that abyssal, not abyssal coin, sorry, the ancient coin has been buffed. Yeah. And since then, we've seen Jannas be building that. That way, the Talisman of Ascension, such a great item. It's more movement speed and for longer than the Righteous Glory offers. So it will be interesting to see if Janna follows that trend. While we do see Sejuani and... Sejuani, not Udyr, I'm afraid.
I'm so disappointed. I was waiting for a Shaco in the jungle. I know it's not part of the meta, but hey, Shaco in the jungle has the ability to surprise.
Let us dream.
We can dream. I believe Faizy, he's going to lock in that Sejuani. Really great for the team composition. The Maokai Sejuani actually synergizes very well in locking down all those carries. Hulk locks in the Lulu. Probably going to be Lulu support, but you never know. Lulu mid does a lot of damage. That wild growth does so much health, and support mid lane is always a safe way to go.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more Sejuani today.
Yeah.
The nerfs that came to her weren't really that bad.
Percentage health damage. And I mean, Sejuani is great at initiating, and that's her kit. Doesn't really matter. And something that just surprised me, Addition locks in the Vayne.
Now, Vayne here, I don't know if it's the right choice against a team that has reliable crowd control. Maokai, sure, she can tumble invisible out of any potential point-and-click moves, but the Maokai Twisted Advance, along with the Lulu Polymorph, provides reliable CC that's going to hit Vayne and lock her up for an immediate amount of time.
And with the Glitter Lance on top of that, all you have to do is make sure that the wild growth goes on that Sejuani. Knocked up Addition, and he's not going to be able to get out of this. Triple Cheese locks in the Gnar for the top lane. Mr. Skeletal on the Gnar. It's a personal favorite of his.
Yeah, Gnar is just such a great champion. We saw last game, despite being down so much CS, despite having his towers pushed in and no kills to his name with a bunch of deaths, he'll still able to 1v1 a level up Hecarim.
Oh, he still does. Rapid on the Tristana. Will this happen again? This was a scary maneuver, and Rapid was jumping all over the place. His ultimate positions well. It's just, he knows the champion inside and out. Rapid on the Tristana. Very safe pick. Well expected of him to pick it up. Definitely not Zillion. That'd be a shame. If only it was Zillion, you know, the old time groover.
We have a new time wizard in charge, and that's Echo.
And he's out. He's out.
But bringing back to your discussion about Tristana, it seems like that it's a reoccurring theme we've seen.
Yeah.
Massive tanks with a very potent hyper carry.
And
just
flexible.
Sitting at the back. Yeah, definitely flexible. Tristana going to be doing a lot once she gets those resets, that extra range later in the game, providing her with the survivability she needs. Ziggs, they have their wave clear, they have their mage damage, and it'll be interesting to see what Avant Garde choose for their last pick here.
We'll see what happens here. It looks like it will be Ziggs coming into that mid lane. What can trump Ziggs? What is the best thing at the moment? Well, Triple
Maybe
Cheese. Or maybe Fizz.
Let's hope. I got my fingers crossed for your boy Triple Cheese to bring out Fizz, but the Azir last game he was playing, it was no laughing matter.
It was great for his team composition. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out because of the early laning phase. But Vladimir, maybe just to tie up the team comp, I don't know. 7 seconds remaining, and we wait for this crucial pick. Vladimir in the mid lane, I do believe, unless they've decided to go nah, but I do. I do very much doubt that. Looks like Triple Cheese will be going on the Vlad in the mid and using the defensive summoners, using a bit of Ghost and Flash.
Now, Vlad, not known for his outplay and maneuverable play style. So someone like Triple Cheese, probably not in his element, but Vladimir, still a very potent champion, is able to sustain against all the Ziggs poke. While once he hits that level 7 and his Q is just on measly cooldown, you can't push him out of lane. Once he gets that tides of blood stacked up on a hemo plage on the entire enemy team, I'm excited. I'm excited to see this game.
I'm definitely excited. There's so much huge team fight capabilities coming through. Addition is going to have to step up to this one, step up to the plate and outplay Rapid. Because if you let him have freedom like last game, all he's going to do is jump all over the hills and far, far away. Addition is he's a fantastic AD carry,
of course.
And his positioning is great. All he has to do is make sure that he limits his mistakes so they can't capitalize and just run all over him.
Well, on a champion like Vayne, you are in control of your own destiny.
Yeah.
You are able to 1v1 even the tankiest of tanks while also having that tumble cooldown, the stealth on her ult, just to avoid any point-and-click CC. So it'll be interesting to see how he positions himself, whether he plays kind of reactive hyper carry or just in your face, I want to 3-shot you with silver bolts.
And I mean, that's what Vayne is known for. Skeletal and Blackstar in the top lane. Blackstar played the Shen in game 2 of today and played a fantastic Shen. Very good at positioning for his team members. And that's what he's probably going to do again this team. Blackstar taking up the teleport, of course, with Skeletal. But Blackstar knows when to teleport. He knows how to out-position the enemy top laner and just jump on that AD carry. So Addition, definitely going to be some rivalry coming between Blackstar and himself.
Yeah, a lot of great engage on the side of Abyssal White here.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how Avant-Garde Academy can, either weather it out or disengage. Because they have a great team for, soaking up the damage and then going back in. They've got Vladimir, who can be very deceptive. He can get low, he can dodge with his troll pole, and then troll pool, sorry.
Oh.
There's a common factor in the Ziggs.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you've got Nah, who, once he hits that mega, gets about 800 health, a massive stack of armor, and so much crowd control. Rek'Sai, all of a sudden, she can tunnel back into your team, get a massive knock-up, and Vayne and Janna, there's all your disengage you need on that Janna.
It's definitely all you need. I mean, Janna with her Monsoon can actually control team fights.
Oh,
and that's what I'm waiting to see. Team fight control coming through from either of these teams. The problem we've seen today is people not knowing how to control these team fights, not knowing how to zone off the carries. And it'd be interesting to see if Rapid or Hulk can actually run free again, or if Nellis and Skeletal know how to lock them down and get Addition and Triple Cheese fed enough to just run through their team.
Now, I think it's a good point to make that Abyss Black, did a lot of really early game focused strategy. So it will be interesting to see if their sister team follows in that regard. We got to see if they go for those 4v1s in the top lane or whether they play a little bit more standard.
Standard is what we've been seeing today, apart from the Echo plays. And, of course, the Olaf the other game, which was just absolutely fantastic to watch Brolaf come through the scene. Faizi on the Sejuani. Haven't seen a Sejuani today. It's either been banned or just hasn't been picked up. It's strange, as you said, Rogi. I hope that Faizi can control him, and he's not very hard to play, of course. But
no.
Whereas he likes his Nunu that can go and invade. Can Faizi handle something like a Sejuani that relies on a bit of team power there?
I imagine any jungler worth his salt is well versed in how to play Sejuani in this meta.
You'd hope so.
She needs the problem with Sejuani is if you miss that glacial prison, there's nothing left.
Set the Arctic Assault and you've got no CC apart from that.
Like you're gonna just be pretty much diving into your death.
Yeah.
But if you can hit that key glacial prison, it does span out to the rest of the enemy team, stunning them for about 2 seconds, I do believe, and it can completely change the game.
And of course, the Flail of the Winds has changed. Percentage health damage has gone down. But it doesn't mean that early game Sejuani is any less weak, does it?
No. She can definitely toe-to-toe with the best of the duelists. But you want to play a little bit more safe. On the side of Rek'Sai, I don't think she's going to be looking to invade. But you want to make sure that he's not invading you. Rek'Sai does have a lot of early sustain with the burrowed passive, regenerating that health and trade of your Fury Bar. And the Queen's Wrath on her Q, that's 3 basically instant auto attacks. I don't think Sejuani is going to have a very ample time at dealing with that. So you will see her maybe play a little bit defensive at a red buff, ward to make sure that no invade's coming down.
And you got 2 teams here who are so experienced throughout the day. We will move into the game very shortly. I think we're just going to start off with a pause, in fact. But 2 teams that are so experienced over today, over the series of the Open Ladder, the Wildcard, a great place to show who's ready to move on to the OCS, who's ready to get serious and understand that, hey, look, our teams, we're better than some of the best, and we got to keep improving. Abyss and Avant both deserve it as much as each other. It's pretty much going to be whoever can out-sustain the other and just explode.
Well, that's the thing. When you get to the 3rd game in a best of 3, it really shows who wants it more.
Yeah.
Who's going to be able to pull out any pocket picks like we saw the Vladimir. Neither of us were expecting that in a million
Definitely
years. Not. So it's going to be interesting to see how Triple Cheese can make this Vladimir impact his team, get him that 2nd win in the best of 3, and knock out Abyss White.
Can't wait for the Vladimir to come into pick. Looks like there will be some technical difficulties to start off, but as we do move into the game, I think early positioning is very key there. Seen a lot of lane swaps over today. No top laners kind of wanting to lose out, or even the bottom lane don't really want to verse someone like, say, a Sivir, who's got so much wave clear and just so much pressure early. They kind of avoid the bad matchups.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of mutual invades where both teams are going in and getting those deep wards. Neither really want to butt heads this early in the game, just, scoping each other out. But we haven't seen, despite that, we haven't seen many mimic strategies.
No.
Like, we see the buddy jungle a little bit every now and again from one team, but the other team seems to opt out of it.
They don't like to. It's always warded. It's always warded, and that's a fantastic thing. We're seeing the skill cap raised even higher, and with the wards that are coming out, they're very well placed. They spot and invade. They spot lane swaps, and it works to the best of the team that spots it, of course. But at the same time, no one's really been at a huge disadvantage where no one's gotten anything at all out of a lane swap. So both teams able to handle it well, but I don't think it's going to be much of a difference till we get to that mid-game stage where we see all the teams grouping together and making those objective decisions.
No, you're definitely right. Despite all the lane swapping we've seen, it has always transitioned into a bit of a lead, but never crushing. We've always seen the respective lanes that got swapped upon catch back up in CS and still have an impact in that game. So it will be interesting to see if a lane swap is pulled. Can they deny the CS like we see at these super high-level games of the LCK or the LCS?
Now, next thing I want to ask is because Triple Cheese going on the Vladimir, of course, it's great for the team comp. Going with the Ghost, of course, want to outplay that Ziggs, sort of dodge the satchel charge, the bouncing bomb, all the slows that Ziggs has to offer. Remember, I think Ziggs is actually changing up a little bit. His satchel charge a bit different now, but still the same ability.
Yeah, still the same.
Do you think Vladimir was right for the team comp in essence?
Now, it all depends on how much AoE they can bring down. Vladimir really good at just dropping that Hemo Plague over the entire enemy team, followed up by a Rek'Sai, Queen's Wrath, or a Gnar ult. And with that 12%, I think it is, bonus damage on top of any Hemo Plagued enemies, it's going to be a one fight.
Oh, then that's going to have to be proven. Triple Cheese on the side of Avant Academy. Let's see if they can do it. It's 1-1 here, ladies and gentlemen. We see Avant Academy versus Abyss White. Which team can come out on top? Which team can move to the grand final for today and move into the OCS?
Oh, man, I'm hyped for this game. Because if Abyss White win, they're going to be versing their sister team. But if Avant Garde win, then Abyss Black is going to have some bad blood between them.
Of course, Avant Garde has a lot going on for them at the moment. Nellis leading the charge of this invade. Both teams going to drop some wards around here, see if there's going to be a lane swap. Nice sapling, though, going to spot out Nellis and the Jana coming through here. Triple Cheese moving with Nellis in this little bit of an invade, but both teams doing the same sort of thing. Actually, Abyss playing a bit defensive around this invade. This is not what we've seen today. We've seen them invade in return, but instead Faizy going to clear the ward and probably just go for his blue. Yeah,
Blackstar did a great job of being in the right position at the right time to get an early ward, throw out his sapling, and he did get a position of where the enemy ward is, and taking that out is going to deny so much information over to Abyss White.
Looks like everyone's going to sort of be in the same lanes for the time being. Rage is moving towards top lane. Actually, might be going down bottom as we see Addition following suit. Award's going to spot them out in the middle lane, and pretty standard lanes, I think, are going to come down here. Reeler Pole not playing his favorite Alistair of the day, but going to go for something a bit more passive with the Lulu, but taking Ignite.
Yeah, it looks like we see Jana and Vayne heading over to that top lane. Mr. Skeletal and Nellis going to be buddy jungling. Maokai doesn't need that much help in the early jungle with those sapling stacks and a little bit of a hand from his buddy Ziggs. He is going to pick up that wolf camp.
And it looks like Skeletal will go around and do the jungle with Nellis. Maokai going to do that first camp, as you said. Probably teleport up top straight after that. But in the bottom lane, that's a free farm going on for the Tristana. Nah, just going to help with the jungle and then eventually probably rotate bot.
It'll be interesting to see if he goes for that teleport top or if he chooses to continue buddy jungling. So far, it looks like he hasn't teleported out of base yet. Looks like he's just maybe going to walk his way over there. Not too sure what he's thinking just yet. He might be meeting Sejuani over at the blue buff.
Perhaps that's right. Jana going to help out with the blue buff as well. Nah still with him, and Maokai going to move his way up. Someone's going to get caught out here, and Hulk and Cheese are just fighting it off for the time being. This Vladimir doing a lot of damage. Blackstar picks it out, and the blue buff slowly getting taken down. Zig's going to try and steal this one as well, but Smite's going to take it out. Nellis gets a free blue buff, wastes Blackstar's time as well, and that Nah going with the buddy system actually might not be the worst idea ever.
Yeah, it would have been a lot better for Maokai to maybe just put a ward down there and back out. I don't think he needed to spend all his time just watching them do the buff. He was obviously just going to get smited away. I don't think they would risk it. And level 2 Maokai, not known for that insane burst.
He's definitely not. It looks like Sejuani going to pick up the enemy's blue buff for the time being. So make it a fair trade, but Maokai still hasn't got any CS under his name. 4 CS compared to Nah's 3, but Nah still doing the buddy system. Looks like he might have stepped off that a bit and is moving his way down bot where the Sejuani's still invading.
Yeah, she's ready and waiting for Nah to go down to that tower. A big minion wave will be stacking up. Oh my god!
Oh, Nah is there waiting. Skeletal sees it, spots it out. Triple Cheese is there as well. The flash transfusion comes through. Tides of Blood helps that as well. And there's the first blood. Very, very sloppy by Faizy.
How did he see that?
I do not know. I think he threw...
Do you think he heard it, or maybe like, because I know if you see like Nocturne,
when it's dark,
you
know, darkness. No, when it's dark, you can still see the animations coming through of the Gromp, as I say that. Bit pressure in the mid lane, but you can see the animations coming through because there's still damage coming from there. So I think the animations must have been spotted very nice by Nah, or either that or he threw a boomerang blade
and he heard the sound.
He heard the sound. So very well played by Skeletal. That's going to be his first assist of the game. Vladimir, Triple Cheese is going to pick up his first kill. And when Triple Cheese gets scaling, oh, God, does he scale.
No, that was a great pickup. Sejuani just staying too low, too deep into enemy lines as we see the lane swap would have been gone in favor of the Maokai, but Mr. Skeletal able to pick up that assist, going to be a little bit of extra gold in his back pocket.
That damage coming from Rapid's bomb on the turret is just crazy. Star getting pushed out of lane still, but Nah might be able to catch up on this CS disadvantage he's got at the moment. Really not too much trouble for Nah. He's got that huge range poke. He's got that boomerang just to farm up, and that triple attack passive helps out as well. Bottom turret on the main hand, I think Rapid's going to be able to get this.
Yeah, with the explosive shot and the rapid shot, it is the tower stands no chance. It's going to be interesting to see if they transition them back up into the top lane to get that top outer turret and send Maokai down to the bot lane, or if they just continue to push and give Tristana free farm.
I think Tristana's going to enjoy the free farm for the time being.
We do see Lulu recalling though, so maybe it might be a support swap to go give Maokai a helping hand.
Maybe. That's probably what you need. The Rapid already having that turret has a bit of freedom. Rek'Sai is down bottom, but with the rocket jump, he has a lot of a lot of flexibility coming through. Lulu actually moving to the middle lane though for the time being.
Yeah, it looks like she has picked up that sight stone, so going to be getting some nice wards early for her team. Rek'Sai, such a threat if you do not have the appropriate vision. And we see Lulu picking up that buff nation coin, but not on the side of Janna.
No, definitely not on the side of Janna. The Spell Thief's Edge going to come through on Janna.
Yep,
so
very common though.
Probably going to see that sold at about the 10-15 minute mark, moving to the Ancient Coin when Janna can actually afford the full upgrade. Of course, the Talisman of Ascension only being... It is still technically worth it. You get, remember, it's buffed now, so you get 3 gold on the initial buy. But when it's fully upgraded, it is still definitely one of the best support items in the game, along with Base of the Mountain. So, Rage probably just going to look at that one a bit better and say, hey, I'll go for that at the 10-15 minute mark. In the meantime, probably go for a sight stone.
Yeah, the problem with buying it in a lane swap is it offers so much regeneration. Every creep that dies gives you a little bit of health and mana back, but you don't need that in a lane swap because you're just bullying out the lane. So I think that's what a train of thought was. She'll do more damage. But as I say that, the dragon goes down.
Yeah, it looks like Abyss White pick up an early dragon while Triple Cheese gets brutally hit in the mid lane. I thought Cheese would be actually trying to rush this lane a bit, but Hulk giving him his money's worth.
Yeah, he's just going to be picking up that Hextech Revolver to just go, stacks on stacks of Spell Vamp. Going to be keeping Vlad topped up. His spells do use his health, and using that pool is 20% of your current maximum health or current health. I can't remember off the top of my head, but if you only want to use it when you're avoiding a lot of damage, otherwise you just end up doing more damage to yourself. Yeah,
it takes so much health out, so it's a big disadvantage to use it at the wrong time. Skeletal going to continue farming with the help of Rek'Sai bot, and as I said, he's actually caught up to this Maokai. So lane swap for the time being. Looks like Vayne is getting the most out of it. 64 CS in 8 minutes. That Vayne probably going to go back and get the Cutlass.
Yeah, she hasn't been back for a buy anytime soon, just freezing that wave on her side of the map, forcing Maokai to go jungle. You can see him now taking his Gromp. He did just finish off the Wolves. The blue buff has spawned, so he's in a good position to ward off any invades.
Blackstar going to get this Gromp, just cannot deal with the Vayne right now. Going to be a nice 64 gold to go back on. Looks like he might actually go for something like Catalyst of the Protector on his back. He's got the 800 gold to do so, already has the Ruby Crystal build, and has the boots just to sort of get rid of that. And he does pick that up, has the Crystalline Flask, because that Vayne, that's just got to be really brutal with that true damage.
Yeah, he's definitely in kill potential. Vayne, one good condemn, and that's a dead Maokai. But we see something that we don't see very often, someone out-pushing Ziggs. We see Vladimir in 2 rotations of Tides of Blood just forcing Ziggs to last hit under tower.
It's a little bit different in that middle lane. Vladimir is still beating the CS game with 1 kill up. Actually picks up the Hextech Revolver on the last back. Has 1,500 gold, but might be helped out by Rek'Sai here. Scuttlecrab goes to the top lane, and it does look like Abyss Sports White want to kind of push this top lane a bit.
Yeah, no one really on Avant Academy that does well with a blue buff, except maybe for the Janna. So it will be interesting to see who they donate that to later in the game. But still, cooldown reduction on Vladimir early is a great asset to him.
It's still fantastic. I still think they might actually just... Rek'Sai might take it for himself. Nellis would be a pretty good idea. The teleport comes in the top lane, and Skeletal looks for damage, but the Boomerang Blade doesn't actually hit anyone. The Mega Narbar is up as well, and it doesn't look like they're going to do anything with it. They're going to back off a Mega Nar. Triple Cheese still sitting in this mid lane, but the pressure continues top.
Now, if you have a look at the mini-map, there's 4 members of both teams all poised and ready to fight around that top lane. So that teleport was definitely necessary. Whether or not he actively did something... Oh, no, here we go.
Oh, Skeletal's being caught there and gets stopped mid-jump. Tristana looking for the last hit. Oh, my God, it is so close. Addition condemning into the wall just in case, and they're probably going to get the turret from this one.
Oh, The Mega Inferno Bomb unfortunately missing in the background.
It does indeed. Rapid takes 2 silver bullets. Blackstar takes the same as well. Vayne going to look for the tumble out of this one. Addition gets slowed by the Lulu, but Maokai goes back in. Nellis takes a lot of damage, actually gets ignited. Vicey looking for another Arctic Assault. The Glacial Prison, not actually sure that he has it for the time being. I think he just used it, actually.
He missed.
4 people in the top lane. Doesn't matter that he missed. He's still going to help get the top turret.
He threw the field goal. Went through both goalposts. It was a beautiful shot to make, but unfortunately not the one he was trying to.
Unfortunately didn't get it there. Fizey going to regret that one. The top turret getting pushed even more. 4 members of Abyss are in this top lane. Blackstar not going to tank this one up either. And Vayne just going to continue to farm, continue to freeze this wave and beat Tristana.
Yeah, so far a lot of action happening, but only structures going down as we see 2 turrets in favor of Abyss White. Now, that's a lot of gold for everyone on the team. So the CS discrepancies are starting to not be that bad, considering that the gold lead is in favor of White.
And the only discrepancy I can really look at the moment is Triple Cheese, who...
100, got a bit of a lead.
Yeah, 116, a decent 20 CS lead, almost. Getting to that stage. Looks like he's going to pick up the Scuttle Crab in that lane and hope that Ziggs doesn't catch up. Ziggs' first item goes for the Morellonomicon. Vlad goes for the Will of the Ancients.
Vlad in a bit of a tricky spot here.
He could have stuck around and taken the Scuttle Crab.
Smite though.
He got outplayed by the Scuttle Crab.
But Vayne doing a great job at playing Vayne here. While it's not the most fun thing you can be doing, it's safe and effective. Just freezing that wave far up in the top lane. But look at that tower.
The damage is huge. Triple Cheese gets dove on. Arctic Assault doesn't hit anyone. Fizey does not have the Glacial Prison just yet. Waiting for it. It's going to be up very soon if they want to dive this under turret. There is the Hemo Plague, but wow, where's all this damage coming from? It must be Tristana Ziggs combination. The Ziggs bomb gets the Vladimir. The Janna gets Doven on as well. There's the triple kill. Glacial Prison comes out in the end, and Ziggs' precision is just incredible.
Chief needed to transition down so much quicker. He wasn't there in time. His team needed him to be that extra source of threat so that Vladimir wasn't the main focus.
He doesn't have any attack speed built into his runes either. He isn't actually scaling that well. Gets Doven on as expected. Here's the middle turret at 13 minutes.
Wow.
It's 4 for 1. And wow, indeed, Skeletal looks like he thinks he can take this, but I would not trust that. Nellis looking for an Umbaro. This is getting very, very dangerous for Avant Academy.
This reminds me of the Season 3 World Championship Finals where SKTT1 just pushed through the mid lane and got all 3 towers in the span of like 30, 40 seconds at about 10 minutes in the game. And here we see another fight maybe erupting.
Nellis is looking for Fizey here. He's got no health, but he does have a bit of mana if he wants the Arctic Assault away. Of course, the Glitter Lance is there to help him out, and Real Appeal just gets rid of that ward and sticks around for the Dragon.
Yeah, it looks like we see Vladimir and Ziggs finishing off their items, but Ziggs with that little bit of extra gold coming off that triple kill, going to be able to buy himself a needlessly large rod. On the other hand, Vladimir getting a Will of the Ancients, but here comes the Mega Inferno Bomb.
Oh my god! No way!
Oh boy.
Camera, why did you not focus that? Oh my god, the Ziggs bomb. The Inferno Bomb just steals the Dragon. Beautifully timed by Ziggs. They saw that coming. I think Nellis miss-smited that by a little bit. And that's the second Dragon going to Abyss White. And this looks scary for Avant Academy. I say it again. This looks scary.
Yeah, the gold lead is getting further and further apart. Hopefully they can maybe get some picks here, but they don't really have the team for it. Vladimir, no crowd control at all. Until he gets that Crystal Scepter, you're not going to see anyone stay and fight Vlad. So it's really up to Nah and Rek'Sai to initiate these fights.
It is indeed. 1 for 1. Vladimir has the only kill for his team for the time being. Triple Cheese actually farming well, to give him credit. So if there is hope resting on anyone's shoulders, it would definitely be Triple Cheese. Addition has not positioned that well. This game is actually dedicated at all to farming to get that Blade of the Ruin King, which he has done now. We look at his gold. He's got about only 186, so he's just picked up that Blade of the Ruin King. Not able to defend this. And Nels looks for an engage as we see the Umbaro come through. Hulk actually takes a bit of damage there coming from the transfusion. Wow! Ziggs is just doing so much damage. Rapid is again jumping from side to side. Nice condemn though coming from Addition. Gets taken out in the process, doesn't get Rapid. Triple Cheese taking a lot of damage now. Actually helps. No, he doesn't take out anyone. In fact, Hulk actually burns him towards his way. Cheese looking to get some damage. He takes out their method of pushing. He takes out Tristana. Here is the inhibitor going down 9 for 2 with a 7k gold lead coming through. Oh, God, it's just falling apart for Avant Academy.
We're only 15 minutes in the game. What's going on? This is insane. These guys have just, you know, hit the switch and just fast-tracked this game into like a 30-minute...
Oh, my God, they want this.
They've basically just shaved off 15 minutes of just standoffish play and farming and just gone straight for that inhib. White know what they want and they're going to get it. They're absolutely ruthless. The Tristana doing so much work in the backline. The Ziggs damage is just, oh, it's huge. Once he gets that Luden's Echo, I don't see a way
I was
they
looking
can
at this team
stand
thinking they were a mid to late game. In fact, Ziggs can be quite the late game carry. Just
now, you're a late game champion if you hit your late game at 16 minutes.
You definitely do. 4 for 0 for 5. Morello's already built. Looks like the Luden's Echo will be built for the extra movement speed. And just other synergetic things coming through here. Against a Vladimir who's got 2 kills. And sure, he's got 2 items. But they are cheap items. You've got the Will of the Ancients, which doesn't cost more than 2,500. Yep. You've got the Abyssal Scepter as well. Great items, but...
A lot of tier 2 items.
Exactly right.
So it will be interesting to see what they can do with these items. I don't think much is going to come, but you can see that Vladimir, he's got the damage. Once those tides of blood gets really stacked up, he needs more cooldown reduction at the moment just so he can spam that moves out. As we saw in the end of the fight, he was able to pick up Tristana for himself, a nice pocket of gold that he can go back and spend. And it'll be interesting, yeah, like I said, it'll be interesting to see how they play these fights.
This is interesting in the sense that the fact that they can push that hard in the mid lane at 17 minutes and that the super minions are actually breaching the base for the time being, it's just going to mean that they've got to defend so much harder. Avant Academy have to do something, otherwise they are going to miss out on their spot in the OCS. This is big news, ladies and gentlemen. Rapid going to push down this bottom turret. A pink ward spots out that ward there, and Blackstar looking to tank this one up as well. Rapid, remember, with that bomb, just going to do so much damage. That bottom turret is not worth saving at this stage. They're going to try and defend this inhibitor turret, but I'm not sure how much luck they're going to have.
And did you notice who they sent back to farm the waves? It was Vladimir. That means Nah, even with the teleport, isn't strong enough to deal with these super minions. That means that they can't split push at all. If the fight had erupted Vladimir, he's just going to have to walk there. He does have Ghost, so maybe sprints there. But Nah, just not being the split push that his team needs him to be. So this tower is going to be very hard to defend.
And once again, Nah goes back, and it's 4 members on this turret. Rapid is just hitting this turret so hard. There comes an ult, and the Glacial Prison hits Triple Cheese, the person they wanted it to. There's the Righteous Glory, gets popped, the Condemn against Blackstar. Vayne pops the ultimate, Nellis looks for the Unburrow, and no one dies, but the turret takes so much damage.
That was very poor focus on the side of White. That was only really 2 people defending the tower. Nah wasn't there, Vayne wasn't there, and they took so much damage and weren't even able to get a kill or a tower out of it.
Looks like Blackstar twisted advance onto the backline there, just didn't get onto Triple Cheese in time for his Sanguine pull to sort of fizzle out a little bit. Blackstar still very tanky with this stage of the game. The Righteous Glory, all he needs. And Nellis comes in here with an Unburrow, looking for something. Relipede looks for the Glitter Lance, but doesn't actually find it. Righteous Glory gets popped again. Actually, that time was the Talisman of Ascension. Ward's going to spot him. Triple Cheese going to look for Rapid. But I think they're just going to back off and look for Baron.
Yeah, and if you just look at the items on the side of Avant Academy, there aren't any. Vayne has 1 item. Nah, still working on completing his. Jana only really now picking up the Forbidden Idol along with that Sightstone. So they've come to play, but they're just not showing up in this important 3rd game.
No, they're definitely not. There was something about that 2nd game that just zapped their confidence. Abyss White are looking heavily into it, and Avant Academy, one of the strongest teams in this competition, are just fizzling out a little bit. Nellis and Addition, some great players in their team, just to mention a few. Addition, a fantastic AD carry, just needs to step it up with the Vayne mechanics a bit. He's got 1,400 gold. He can get a Zeal. He can get the attack speed. He can proc the silver bullets. This is the third dragon for Abyss White, and it's getting even scarier for Avant Academy.
Yeah, that's the problem when you fall behind in a team with no real disengage besides from Jana. You just run the risk of your carries being jumped on by that Sejuani. And we saw Vayne in the last team fight nearly kill Tristana in a 1v5, but was unable to pick up the final auto as she flashed over the wall. But she's going to have to be there for more than the 1v5. She needs it to be there for the 5v5, doing damage to Sejuani, making the silver bolts count. That's why you pick Vayne. It's
definitely why you pick Vayne. And picking up that Zeal, maybe now going to get that extra attack speed, maybe some crit proc as well. Damage from addition is actually quite a lot. So there is still some hope for Avant Academy to defend this one out, get some clutch plays via the hope of Triple Cheese. Look at the damage on Rapid as Nellis actually knocks up, but there's the rocket jump to get him out of it. Triple Cheese getting CC'd by Blackstar there. There's the Glacial Prison, locks down the backline. Skeletal with the Meganar gets popped out, but actually gets a lot of members. He's trying to get Rapid so hard, but Rapid's doing so much damage. Blackstar goes to that backline on the Jana, takes a lot of turret damage. Hulk can't get in the base because he's so low. Fizzy looks for Vayne, doesn't find it. Addition actually finds him instead. Here's the bottom lane turret. Double kill in the backline. Maokai gets some of that, and Rapid is the only one left with Reelapole to get this inhibitor. Rage comes there as well, and that was a bit of a misplay by Abyss White.
MVP Tower just really doing work, taking out 2 members. I guess they just thought it was going to die or not change its focus to them, but that was such a blunder. Oh, that's got to be embarrassing for the Abyss White.
It definitely is, and Abyss White are actually going to have to look at that one, see what they did wrong, and sort of go back to the drawing board and see what they can do now. We see that Nellis is trying to gain some farm, trying to catch up a little bit. In good respects, he actually does have 30 CS ahead of the Sejuani, so he's been trying to get a gold advantage here. He does actually have a bit of gold to go back on it as well. Has actually 300 gold less than the Sejuani, although more farms. So Sejuani just having a bigger role in this game.
Yeah, 7 towers to 1 now will do it also.
There you go.
Avant Academy, sorry, picking up their first tower of the game. And Triple Cheese, I'm not too convinced that this Vladimir is enough. He's doing great for himself, but what's he doing for his team?
That's a fantastic question.
With a mid laner, you really want to be able to provide a great solo opportunity for yourself, but a lot of utility mages with CC are seeing popularity. Like Ziggs, he can kind of get away with being selfish because he can do so much damage from the backline while also giving disruption and slows. But Vladimir, he's landed some great hemo plagues, but it's never been in the right opportunity. I think Triple Cheese, if he's going to be playing this playstyle, will be much better suited on Fizz.
Fizz would have been a fantastic pick. I think that's a bit more of a comfort pick for him coming through. He's built his 2 item power spike, and now we're going to wait for the next one, which is most likely looking like a Seeker's Armor Guard. Get a bit of armor against that Tristana, but I think
definitely needs it.
You might need to move into that Spirit Visage, which Vladimir is so well known for, as your 5th item. Maybe move it to the 3rd item, because that Ziggs is the one doing all the damage. Look at this. Look at this. And he's going to explode, and he takes half health.
And look at that. Just the bounces from the Luden's Echo doing about that much damage to Jana. It's insane what a Ziggs this far ahead can really achieve. 2 inhibitors open. It'll be interesting to see if they go for the open inhibitor on the bot lane, and I think they will.
I think they will rotate to this one. We've just got to keep an eye out, see if there's any picks that come out. Like Rapid actually just takes a lot of damage from the Vladimir. Triple Cheese is doing a lot of damage. All he has to do is position himself, and this game can turn on its head. They're looking for this last inhib down bottom, and Skeletal's Narbar's about to be up.
Yeah, he's had great positioning every single fight, always being in the front line, doing exactly what Vlad needs to do. But his team have never been there, so it begs the question to think maybe it's time to go for a more peel role. I know that the Blackstar and Sejuani have been jumping straight into that backline. Do you think it's now time to say, hey, I'm not the only carry on this team? I'll be much suited with the Hemo Plague on these massive carries, so Vayne's doing 12% extra damage.
There's just a lot more thought process that has to go into this game, especially if both teams want to win. Abyss White actually making a couple of mistakes that can be capitalized on by Avant Academy, so it's definitely not over. Only problem I see with this is that Nah hasn't actually built his first item yet. He's got Mercury Treads with the Home Guard. Sure, that's great for defending, but the Gnar doesn't actually have that Randuin's Omen or anything that can sort of be processed into locking down that Tristana.
Yeah, look at the CS difference in the top laners. It's disgusting.
Huge. It's absolutely huge, and especially with Vayne as well, that's what amazes me, the fact that apart from the top laners, Avant Academy actually do have the better CS. Sejuani has caught up, but Vayne with 50 CS more. Cheese has 20 CS more, and Rek'Sai 10. Only person that's missing out is Gnar, so perhaps if Gnar gets a bit of an edge, he may be able to turn this team fight around. Rapid going to be doing so much damage. They're protecting him out now. They know that he's going to be doing so much. Nellis, so there goes the Glacial Prison, but Vayne has ulted, looking to go back in. Wow, the damage coming from Hulk. Here comes Addition trying to do some damage. Actually targets Real in the backline. Rapid takes the condemn, but it's not enough damage. Oh, if only he tumbled towards Rapid, he could have gotten that, and a bomb just hits Janna so quickly. Triple Cheese looking for the damage. The Tides of Blood doesn't reach. The Transfusion's trying to reach. Triple Cheese gets slowed by beautiful Glitter Lance. The Transfusion's there. Cheese is the only one to defend this. 10 seconds until Nellis is up. This bottom inhibitor's going to go down. They're going to get out of base, but not before they can get Triple Cheese.
Great polymorphs there by Lulu. She got Vayne the second. She went for that ultimate tumble right into the fight. Nothing to come out of that. And we saw Vlad, he thought about turning around into Ziggs, and the second he changed his mind from retreat to attack, there was the polymorph. So props to Lulu.
It's just so well thought out by Abyss White. Sure, they're cutting it close, but in the end, everything seems to be going their way. 16 for 6. Nellis going to try and steal this dragon, but is he being a bit too over precarious here? Nellis does a lot of damage, has to use his tunnel system, get out, but Maokai's popped the Righteous Glory, looking for Nellis, who's overextended. He actually gets healed up by the Vayne. Vayne looking for the tumble kill, gets it. Addition now looking for the next one on Blackstar. Doesn't have any mana, Blackstar. Has to force a flash. There's the satchel charge. Now Gnar looking for the tumble here, looking for the Boomerang Blade as well. It's seeing if we can see Avant-Garde turn it around, but they can't, unfortunately. They're going to get their first dragon of the game, and that's actually going to be enough of a turnaround to get me excited.
That was great by Nellis to just lure the enemy team right into the chokehold, where Vayne, with that passive, is going to be a relentless pursuer. There was no escape for Sejuani. Luckily, Maokai had his flash available and was able to get that distance. The teleport from Mr. Skeletal, unfortunately, a little bit too far away. And, oh, he did have the home guards, but still wasn't enough.
Skeletal did very nicely to chase that back there. Didn't get quite catch up in the end, but Nellis surprised me a little bit. He's tankier than I thought. He's got 2 items. He's got the Sightstone as well. It's a good build for the Rek'Sai. He's building for his team, and that's fantastic. The Vladimir still hasn't actually moved into anything else. I'm guessing it is with 1,600 gold, probably going to be going for something like the needlessly large rod.
He needs that extra survivability that the Hourglass provides. If you can go from Sanguine Pool into Hourglass, you're just providing time for your cooldowns to come back up that allows you to get extra health. But it looks like this, oh, and a nice shot right there.
Oh, doesn't steal it over. Now Nellis is in a bad position, gets bursted down by Rapid, and a really good attempt to steal, but just not going to cut it.
They did a great job, though, of pushing out all the inhibitor lost lanes. The super minions not going to be knocking on the Nexus door just yet. No. So the Baron buff, though like important, it wasn't enough to draw out Avant-Garde. They were able to defend their base, only losing 1 for it. So that was smart play.
Very smart play. Inhibitor spawns for Avant-Garde, so it's going to give him a bit of time. But the Tristana bomb, look at that. Boom, the turret goes down. That is ridiculous. Rapid doing so much damage at this stage, even the turrets cannot comprehend it. The Baron Minion's going to take this up as well, and top is just getting very, very heavy. Rapid, not enough mana to really make some plays here. Addition going to get this ward, and he is now got a lot on his shoulders to kite around this. He's doing a lot of damage. He can do a lot in this back line, and the sieging will continue.
Yeah, and all Nasus everywhere jealous of that explosive shot. The damage ramping up immediately rather than Nasus having to wait 40 minutes
40 minutes.
He can do that.
Poor Nasus. The Condemned nearly actually going through that wall as well. Vizi Arctic assaulting through that. A Scrying Ward spots them out. just in case they wanted to rotate down to mid, but they're going to stick top.
Now, all they have to do is keep them here because the inhibitor lanes, as I say, that looks like someone's going in.
Oh my god, bursted. Nah, Ziggs doing all the damage there. Vayne has altered. Glacial Prison makes sure they get out. They're just going to take the one here. No one loses the Baron buff, and Ziggs walks away with a smile.
Yeah, so they get the tower, they get a kill. All the inhibitors will be respawning very soon, but that's 3 open inhibitors. It will be... Avant Garde are going to have an easy picking, deciding which lane to push. They have the Baron buff, they have the gold lead. The Vayne, whilst doing very well in her regard to her CS differential, along with a great set of items, she's got that basically 2 attack speed item power spike, along with the HP Shredder, the Blade of the Ruined King. It'll be interesting to see how she, translates those items into damage.
Probably going to be seeing actually a Last Whisper coming out for Faizy Blackstar.
Oh yeah.
You got to think that Real is giving so much health to people. Last Whisper probably going to shred any extra health and armor that you can get your hands on. The top inhibitor is already... No, it's spawned now. We see Triple Cheese actually has to use his Sanguine Pull. Nellis comes in with an Unburrow, takes so much damage. There's the Ziggs bomb, and it just so much damage on that backline. Nah gets everyone there, and Mr. Skleedle just gets bursted down. Rage trying to do something here. Cheese gets destroyed there because Blackstar just teleports with a Twisted Advance. A triple kill goes to Tristana. He's doing so much work here. This is going to be the game. Vayne cannot defend this with any sort of mechanics. Doesn't matter how good you are. 5 members Baroned up. Actually, Baron just ceased to exist. But Hulk still doing so much damage. Tristana doing a lot as well. There's the Glacial Prison. Wow. The damage is disgusting on Hulk.
Survivors.
Leave absolutely none. Tristana and Ziggs, the Yordle duo, just absolutely smashed that out. Addition not happy with that one. And that means Abyss White are going to be moving on to the finals.
Abyss White versus Abyss Black. I'd hate to be the guys who cast that game.
Yeah, same. So would I. But Abyss White, look, I can't help but think they definitely deserve that win. They capitalized so well. Their team composition revolved around this mid lane of this 80 carry. And you've got someone like a Sejuani who's just so good at initiating. Sure, it's not Faizy's style, but Nunu, it gets a bit boring when you can't absolute zero everyone. All you have to do, Arctic Assault. His Glacial Prison's on point that game. Made sure Addition did nothing.
Yeah, it was really, really good to watch. Like you said, Addition was always just off in the wrong position, but it wasn't his own fault. He was forced there by the excellent initiates coming out of White. And judging by the last few games, I can't honestly say who I favor coming into the grand finals. Both Black and White look immensely powerful in their own regard, both making short works of their opponents in their wins. So it's anyone's game.
Abyss White versus Abyss Black. The grand final of the wildcard is coming up next. Who can win it? Who can win a spot into the OCS? Stick with us. We'll be right back.